Let me just tell you this. I love the wind. In fact, now I don't like it cold and windy. I like it like when it's just, like outside is actually nice. Last night was really cold, but I like it windy and nice breeze. And I always, and I've said this, that I always tell my kids this all the time. If I'm gone, if I left this earth, but you with the tree, like, because one of my favorite work. Has anyone seen the movie God Rest His Soul, Robert Duvall, Phenomenon? Have you seen that with John Travolta? Has anyone seen Phenomenon? No? You haven't seen Phenomenon with John Travolta and Robert Duvall was in it? An incredible movie. But he talks about there. You got to watch it. It's a great movie. And I always tell my kids, if I left this earth, that, and you see the trees shaking, the wind, that I'm saying hello, that I'm right by your side. But I say that is you need to go watch Phenomenon with John Travolta, Robert Duvall. Anyway, that's for another time and place. But okay, clean up on Friday's game. We had a good win, obviously. I mean, that first 10 minutes wasn't good. We got our butts kicked on the glass. We were not good in a lot of different areas, offensively or defensively. But for us to kind of hang in there and stay the course and continue to fight our way back and be down that we were down and get the win that we had was great by our guys to be able to get that done. So I can tell you this: we're going to be much better on tomorrow night against Colorado State. They're very well coached. They can really shoot the ball. They got a lot of really good players. The coach does a really good job with them. I mean, they execute offensively and just very, very sharp. So we'll have to be at a high level. We'll have to be much better. First time we played them, we had 16 turnovers. And we had and they had 12 offensive rebounds for 16 second chance points. So they out-toughed us last game, the way I looked at it. We had some chances late, but our turnovers and them getting their second chance points was a difference in the game. Now we're a different team than we were back then, and as are they. But we'll need to be tough if we want to win this game.
You haven't had anybody foul out in the last two games. Is it fair to say, or over-exaggeration, that not fouling out is the most important thing for team success?
Well, I don't know, Tyler. I mean, I think keeping our main guys in there defending without fouling is a big deal. I mean, we've had foul issues. There's no doubt about that. It's cost us games because guys are not on the floor because they fouled out and we can't keep them on the floor because they had silly fouls. So, I mean, we practice it, we show film on it, we talk about it, we emphasize it, we reinforce it. It's a constant thing every day. But we've been better these last two games of some of the key guys not getting in foul trouble and defending without fouling. So that's got to stay true to us, tomorrow night and moving forward.
In addition to that, Coach, you just said that this isn't the same team as to when you played Colorado State last.
Yep.
What are those improvements that you've seen from that time up until now?
Yeah, I mean, I think, unfortunately, I wish we could have the month of November back. I've said this a few times. And we just, it's taken us time to figure our team out. I think we've settled into the rotation. I think it took us time. And again, anyone can, and I get it, I can be criticized for why that takes so long. And I understand people wanting to criticize on that. And I just, with the amount of new guys, injuries, not practicing, trying to figure out who we were, it's taken us a little time. So I think we've settled into who we are on both sides of the ball, and the guys have understood their roles, and our rotation's gotten settled, and so we're just better. We've improved. Our record isn't where, our overall record is not where any of us want to be at, and I get that, including myself, the fan base, and anybody in between. So, but from what you want to see is your team improve and get better. As a head coach, you want to see your team that you can see every time you're on the floor, you're making strides in the right direction, and we've done that. Now we got to continue to do that. So we got to continue to get better and see can we continue to move that momentum moving forward as we enter this last few weeks of the season. season before conference tournament.
Do you think your team, at this point, how competitive do you think UNLV can be in the conference tournament?
Well, yeah, I mean, we still got some time to go before then, but look, I mean, and we're still I want to see us continue to get better, but I think Boise State's really good, and we beat them twice. I mean, I think Utah State's really good, and we were able to beat them at their home spot. I mean, I think, we've had some good wins. I think Grand Canyon's we had a good win here. We've had some good wins. We've had some tough losses. I think we're a team that can beat anybody, but we're also a team that if we don't play with great toughness and with the intensity and urgency, we could also lose to anybody. So I think that's kind of been the roller coaster of our year this year. I hope we can stay on the highs of the roller coaster, but I think we're that type of team where, we could literally, you can win every game you play. I mean, listen, everybody can say that, but we literally can win every game we play. But we also, if we don't, if we're fouling like crazy and having guys up, we can lose every game we play. And that's kind of where our team is. And so that's why it's really important for us to be at a high level every time we step on the floor, because if we are, based on some of our athleticism and length, we can do a lot of good things. But we're a game by game team right now. Like it's a possession by possession with us. And so I also understand that. That's why I'm measured about it. As great as the win was Friday, this is a new day, new deal. I hope we have great momentum carrying into Wednesday, tomorrow night's game, but it's a brand new game. We got to put that in the past. But this is a really tough league. This is a really good basketball league. The physicality of this league, and you can't win games in this league if you're not tough. And when we haven't been tough enough, we've lost. So that's been just a big thing for us.
Coach, you mentioned on the show the conditioning right now. Dre, how many minutes he's playing. What can you say about the conditioning of your team right now, the shape your guys are in?
Yeah, I think we're in really good shape. That's a big thing for me. I mean, even you look at our pace. We play with really good pace for the most part. I've said this from the beginning. I mean, like, you can't be a high-level athlete if you're not in great physical condition. And a lot of that's VO2 max, as we discussed. VO2 max, the cardio shape, the intensity that you train with. Obviously, at this point of the year, you're not doing conditioning. You're past that point. But I ran the guys a lot in summer, and I don't know. I'll have to re-examine that for next year, because could that have caused some of the injuries? Because I just believe in conditioning a lot, and so I've got to evaluate that. But I also, it wasn't just running just for the heck of it. It was within our drill base, but I believe in conditioning. Maybe you don't have to do it as early in the summer. Maybe we wait till September or time to do it. But I do believe in great conditioning. Like, that's a big thing for me. Like, you can't be at the level that I hold you to the standard of if you're not in great physical, cardiovascular, VO2 max shape. You're just not. You can't. And I'm not lowering my standard for anybody. Like, this is where it's at. It's your responsibility to meet the standard. And part of meeting that standard is you got to be in great shape. Because I'm asking you to be great on the glass. I'm asking you to defend. I'm asking you to sprint the floor, to dive on the floor, to make multiple effort plays. And I play guys a lot of minutes. I don't, now that we've kind of settled in, and some of our losses, I think we discussed this last week, some of our losses have been because I probably played too many guys. Trying to figure guys out, playing 10, 11 guys, and it's just get out of rhythm. So playing less guys got to be in great physical shape. That's a big thing. So right now we're in great condition. We're in great shape. But that started back in the summer for us to be in the shape that we're in.
You mentioned injuries. Are players like Miles and Logi around? We don't get to see practice. I'm just curious.
Miles went to California to have surgery, and because his parents are there to get taken care of, to be in California, so they can, because after the initial surgery, just recently, he couldn't put any weight bearing on his foot for a little bit. So obviously, he didn't have anyone here to take care of him, so he stayed in Los Angeles, or in California, in Los Angeles area, to be with his parents so they could look after him. He'll be back here once the doctor there says he can get on the boot and walk around. Lodgy's here every day. He will eventually probably need another surgery, which we're, because we want both guys to be healthy they're done for this year, obviously, it's for next year. But his brother's here, so once he does that, and even his first initial surgery, his brother was able to help take care of him on some things. Because once you get initially a surgery, you can't put any weight bearing on it, so you gotta, people bring you food and help you on some of those things, help you get to the restroom, and shower, and all that stuff. So, because you had to have some time where you couldn't put any weight bearing on it. So they're around. They've been great teammates. It's just been unfortunate that both guys are really good players. And I know I've said this a lot. Both guys are really good players. Miles Shea is tough as nails. Like Miles Shea as a point guard he's tough as nails, and he's a great shooter. And Lodgy, in our league, Lodgy would have been one of the best five. He would have been one of the best 5 men in our league, the way he would have played. Now that I've gone through this league and knowing what Lodgy could be before he came to us, those are 2 big losses for us, without question. It just changes the dynamics of things. And the reality of it is, when we were doing our entire system and thinking and all that in the summer and fall, and I was thinking they were going to be back, a lot of it was around those 2 guys. And when Miles came back for that, like in the summer when he was with us, the way he played, and then when he came back for those few times before he fractured his foot, like stuff that we did, it was just like our team was at a different level. So it's just taken time without those guys for other guys to settle in, which they've done to this point now. A guy like Dre, who's learned how to be a point guard, and some other guys in some spots, so it's just part of the deal.
Did Lodgy have his first surgery before the season started, or was that after?
The first surgery was during the summer.
Yeah, and then after his second one?
He's going to get a second one.
Is there timeline for next year that you're worried about?
So he got the first one, then came back and refractured it right away.
Right.
And they wanted to see, said, let's wait, which I get, he didn't want to do surgery right again. He wanted to see if it would heal on its own. And because he was done for the year, so if we took more time, completely healed, but we're probably going to give it another week to see, based on the healing, and then from there, if it's not where we want it to be or where the doctors want it to be, he'll go back to surgery. Miles got his surgery, and then through some other things, we waited again, same thing, was it healing, but it probably wasn't healing at the level as quick as they wanted to, so let's just go get surgery and get it done with. So both guys, once they get done with the surgery, the plan is they'll be fully cleared next summer. And we're hoping this second surgery and some of the things they did should eliminate any issue. Obviously, there's not a 100% guarantee, as you know, with medical, but it should put them in a good spot to be able to be good to go for next season. But they will be fully good for practice and stuff in the summer.
Is there any validity to the idea like having them here and around the team maybe can help prepare them for next year?
Well, no, they've been around it's been Lodgy and Miles are 2 of our, Miles' leadership, and I get, has been outstanding, even on the bench during the games. He hasn't been here lately because of, like I said, because he went back home to have his parents look after him. But Lodgy's, just his calmness. Now, both those guys don't travel with us because they were in a boot and a scooter, so it was just too hard with the airplane and everything. But both of them have been great leaders and been great around the guys and been great teammates. So, like I've told Miles, we want to get him back as soon as we can, just because of his leadership, Callie. I think that's important. Both guys have been really good in that area.
You mentioned travel. I know you've spoken about this already, but the gas station snacks, somebody asked me about it today. What do you like about the way that's become kind of like part of identity of the Wins?
No, every time we're on the road, we're like, let's win so we get to a gas station. 1, it's great for the local economy of where we're at. They should all want us to win. 2, it's you don't know which gas station we're showing up. And all of a sudden we come in there and they're like, what? And 3, I started this at Georgia Tech, as road wins, and it's just been kind of a cool thing, and people like it. Our guys like it. It's kind of a rallying cry, and look, they're guys get NIL and everything else, but it's a reminder that these are still 18 to 23-year-olds in a sense, and they still get as happy about getting the gummies, the gummy bears, and the M&Ms, and you know, like whatever, a Gatorade drink and being able to get that, you know. And we don't, let me be clear, we don't allow any gummies. Not gummies. I meant gummy bears, okay? So I just want to make sure of that, you know, so.
Nerd gummy clusters.
Yeah, the gummy clusters, there you go. Yeah, no, because I understand, you know, there's no like products of anything like that they can buy. No alcohol, they're not allowed to get any alcohol, nothing like that, because I know in some stores, you know, that things are legal what they sell, you know, in this day and age. So I just want to make sure that is completely clarified, you know what I mean? It's all snacks and candy and chips and stuff like that, yeah.
Does anyone's orders stick out as like interesting or out of the ordinary?
No, I mean the guys are. You know, what's interesting is it's an interesting deal because everyone, you know, it's like literally a kid in a candy store. I mean, just they get so excited to be able to go in the gas station and get snacks, and so whether it's chips or the candy or the you know the Gatorades they're taking, you know, I mean just you know I don't think anything sticks out. I mean, Deshaun Henry would know better than anyone because he's there, has a credit card paying for it as they come up. But they get so excited about that. It's a big deal, and it's something as small. It's a reminder that these guys are still young guys, and they get excited about something as simple as going to a gas station and getting snacks.
I mean, you mentioned Dre Gibbs-Lawhorn. I mean, he had a big week last week, a career high against Boise State. What has his impact meant for this program this season? Oh man,
he's gotten better and better and better. Now I got on him during the course of the game. You guys weren't there, but you probably saw one. Like I yelled, I said, hey man. One time I pulled him out. He came out for the first time in 3 games for like 45 seconds. They said, if you're not going to play defense, you can sit because I'm ready to play. I said, well, I'm giving you one more chance. I don't care what you've done in the past or how good of a scorer you are. You can just sit your butt right here. Because part of the reason we're getting our butt kicked is because of your lack of toughness on the glass and rebounding. I said, you can think about scoring, but you better start thinking about defense. He went in there, and then he and I even had a little tension exchange during the course because I had to get him going defensively. And but hey, look, it is what it is. He's scoring as well as anybody there is in the country right now. Forget there's the Mountain West in the country. I mean, he's putting the ball in the basket. He's playing at a high level. But I remind him all the time, like all that's well and good, but your identity's got to be the toughness of winning those loose balls. You've got to rebound. You got to stick your nose in there and get defensive rebounds. Like you got to be great defender, and you got to be a great defender without fouling. Fresno State game cost us the game because he had those silly fouls. And then he gets 5, and he's not in the last 2 minutes of the game. He's had a couple games like that where he's committed silly fouls, and we need him on the floor. So he's got to defend at a very high level without fouling. But the way he's putting the ball in the basket is as good as anybody, not only in the Mountain West, but in the country right now, as I would basically.
When he gets in one of those zones, what do you do as a coach? How do you game plan for that?
Well, we keep running some things for him, you know, but I've told him, like, even when you're in a zone, you got to be able to find twos on you. You got to be able to move the ball. Early in the first half for Boise State, there was that drive he had. 4 guys collapsed on him. He had Isaac in the corner, and he shot the shot. And I just ripped him in one of the timeouts. I said, that is completely unacceptable. That's who you were early in the season. That's why we struggled early in the season. Because I was trying to teach him how to be a point guard, and we needed him to score. He was taking bad shots. He didn't understand. He's learned about now moving the ball and getting off the ball and finding the open man. And now he resorted back to that early one. I jumped him. But for the most part, that's his progression. He's learned how to run a team, to huddle the guys and doing all the different things. Where earlier in the year in our struggles in that first month and a half was trying to have him, it was, be a quarterback of your team it was not easy.
Coach, Tyron Jones on the bench last couple, how has he responded?
Fine. I mean, part of he was out for a while.
Yeah.
We won. We beat Grand Canyon, didn't play, and then he practiced finally. Was able to got cleared in that San Jose State game, and we need him on the floor. Whether I don't know what I understand. We got to start off well, so I might have to start him. I don't know. We'll figure that out. Or I got to get him in there quickly. I haven't started. We've won 3 in a row. He hasn't started, and it's not because the last 2 games he's helped us win big time, especially last game. Some of the shot blocking plays he's made. Whether he starts or not, he just got to be ready because he's going to get on the floor early and play a lot.
Now, a little birdie told me back in your U of A days, you and your teammates, some of them were called the Gumbies.
Oh yeah.
How can you explain that, and how are the Gumbies on your team?
Yeah, they would call the Gumbies from that was more for the guys. We didn't play a lot. So it was more of a bench thing, and guys who didn't play a lot, like you'd always have the Gumby game on Mondays after the games on Saturdays, because the guys, we'd have a short practice, and they would call it the Gumby game. And so all the guys who didn't play, which I was one of those guys, we would then play 5-on-5 and play on that. And now here we don't have it. Everyone here is better than me, so we have no Gumbies here. Everyone's a player here. Back there at Arizona, we had, there was this big separation between the top 7 and everybody else. Now the year we won the championship, you had 3 lottery picks on the team, and then a second round pick. So, but here there are no Gumbies. Everybody's a good player. Everybody can play, and everybody can contribute. At Arizona, when I was there were some Gumbies, which I was one of them, and so there was a complete separation between 7 and everybody else.
Coach, your message to Las Vegas to come out to these last couple of games.
Yeah, I've said it, and I know, we got to win. We got to win big. We got to play meaningful games in February. We have won 3 in a row. I hope the fans come out. I know that, I've said it a million times, it's free parking. I think it's a great product because it is free parking, and we do, our guys compete. They will dive on the floor. They play hard. We fly up and down. But I also understand that, we're tomorrow's game and next week's games are the next 3 home games that we have. We're not playing for an at-large berth technically in that sense. So I get it. But there's no denying that we need fans in the seats. We've got to be better so the fans come out. We have to be better. We have to have a better record. We've got to play more meaningful games. When I say meaningful games, like tomorrow's a meaningful game. When I say meaningful game, meaning like, you're in the Joe Lenardi's, bracketology already, or Mike DeCourcy's bracketology, or Jerry Palm's bracketology. You're in the field in a sense, and you're playing for that, or you're playing for the first place to win the conference championship. So I get that. But sort of like the chicken or the egg, which came first, and we need that home court advantage. They did a great job with San Diego State. We feel awful because we didn't get the job done. They were there and had a good loud crowd for San Diego State. We just didn't get it done, unfortunately. So I hope they're there, but I still believe that we're going to have to continue to earn their trust and win their support back. And the only way to do that is to continue to finish out this year the right way. See how the year goes, and then hopefully next year that even from the start we can have a better start. But they say, okay, I believe in Coach's vision, and we want to be there. So it's going to be on us to have to earn their trust back. There's no doubt about it.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thanks everybody.